Hey everyone, before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Stories like this deserve to be shared. The first time I smelled it, I knew something was off. It wasn't perfume or cologne. Not exactly. It was a sharp, metallic tang of panic, mixed with the faint scent of her favorite vanilla candle. I had driven across town after a long day, my hands gripping the steering wheel like I could will the traffic to move faster. Claire had started a new job last month at one of the city's sleekest marketing firms, and I thought I'd surprise her with lunch. Just me, her, a quiet corner, maybe a smile and a laugh that felt like old times. Her office building glinted in the winter sun, glass reflecting the pale blue sky. But there was an edge to it, a sterile coldness that had never been there before. When I got to the front desk, I asked for her by name. The receptionist smiled politely, tapped a few keys, and said, "She's in a meeting with Mr. Reed." Mr. Reed, the CEO. I nodded, hiding a flutter of irritation, and made my way to the elevator. The elevator ride was heavy. I scrolled through my phone, pretending to check messages, but really checking my pulse. Clara and I hadn't fought. Not really. But something had shifted. She'd been distant lately. Late nights, half-hearted texts, phone calls she wouldn't take in front of me. I tried to dismiss it as stress, a new job, maybe even excitement. But deep down, a gnawing suspicion was there, like a warning I didn't want to hear. When I reached the top floor, the hallway stretched long and quiet. Offices lined either side, their frosted glass obscuring more than they revealed. Then I heard laughter, soft, low, almost intimate. It made my chest tighten. I followed it, careful not to make a sound, until I reached the door at the end. Through the glass, I could see her, Clara, leaning close to Reed, their heads almost touching, their hands blurred together in movement I couldn't make out. And then the door clicked. Locked. I froze. My stomach dropped. My heart pounded like a warning drum. I didn't know if I was about to walk into a misunderstanding or a betrayal that would ruin everything. I stood there, pressed against the cold glass of the hallway, trying to steady my breathing. The laugh I had heard before now sounded different, lighter, almost too intimate, and it made something in my chest twist. My hands shook as I fumbled for my phone, debating whether to call her or just barge in. Every scenario raced in my mind. Maybe it was a work joke. Maybe it was helping her with presentation. But the way she tilted her head, the soft, almost conspiratorial way she smiled, it didn't feel like that. I tapped on the door, then tried the handle. Locked. My fingers scraped the metal, my reflection in the glass looking back at me, pale and tense. I called her, my voice low, almost trembling. "Clara, it's me. Are you okay?" The phone rang once, twice. Then a text popped up from her. "Busy. Call later." Busy. That single word hit me harder than I expected. I knew her patterns. She never said she was busy unless she wanted space. But space didn't involve laughter that sounded like it belonged to someone else, hands brushing hands in a way that was too deliberate. I stepped back, my mind spinning with everything I had ignored. Late nights at team meetings, the unexplained expense on her card, the way her eyes darted away when I looked at her too long. I had brushed it off as paranoia. Love makes you blind, they say. Maybe I had been. I leaned against the wall, trying to make sense of it, when the door clicked again from inside. My stomach dropped. The laughter stopped, replaced by a strained voice. "Clara?" Reed's voice carried a different weight now, commanding but soft. I couldn't hear her reply, but then the silence stretched heavy and accusing. I wanted to burst in. I wanted answers. Instead, I watched as she moved closer to him, her hand brushing his arm in a way that made my chest tighten, my fingers curl into fists. The elevator dinged somewhere down the hall, the sound cutting through the tension like a knife. I realized then, whatever was happening in that locked office, I was already too late to stop it. And then it happened. My phone buzzed again. Another message. From Reed. Not her. "Don't worry. He won't find out. She's ours now." My legs nearly gave out. My mind couldn't process the words fast enough. "Ours now," I whispered to myself, my voice breaking. Betrayal wasn't just a theory anymore. It was here, tangible, clawing at the edges of my world. I pressed my forehead against the glass, seeing her laugh again, completely unaware, or pretending to be, of the storm I carried inside. My next move could change everything that I didn't think. I ran. My shoes clicked sharply on the polished hallway floor as I pounded on the door, rattling the handle until it shivered under my grip. "Clara, open this door." My voice cracked, raw and desperate. Silence. Then a soft shuffle. The lock clicked from the inside, and she opened it, eyes wide, frozen for a fraction of a second before recognition hit. "Why, what are you doing here?" Her voice trembled, but it wasn't fear. It was calculated. I swallowed hard, fighting the knot in my throat. "Why, Clara? Tell me it's nothing. Tell me it's just work." My hands shook, my chest heaving. I needed her to tell me it wasn't true, to dissolve the tension that had been gnawing at me for weeks. But her eyes, they didn't lie. Reed stood behind her, arms crossed, smirking slightly, as if he had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times. "I think we should give him a moment," he said smoothly, but there was an edge in his tone, possessive, like he was marking territory. Clara took a step back, as if Reed's presence was a shield. My heart shattered a little more. "Clara, look at me," I pleaded, voice breaking. "All those late nights, the messages you hid, the excuses, this was it? All of it." She blinked, and for a split second, I thought I saw a flicker of guilt. Then she straightened, smoothing her blouse, the calm demeanor of someone who had already chosen. "I didn't want you to see this," she said quietly. But the words rang hollow, rehearsed, empty. I felt the room tilt. My marriage, the life I believed in, the trust one had built. It was gone, splintered like glass underfoot. I wanted to scream, to hit something, to make her understand the destruction she had caused. But all I could do was step back, take a deep breath, and feel the weight of betrayal settle like a stone in my chest. "I guess there's nothing left for me here," I said, voice low, brittle. I turned away before she could speak again, before I could hear excuses or apologies I didn't believe. Walking down the hall, every step echoed, every heartbeat reminded me that love could be destroyed in moments, and some betrayals left scars no time could heal. Outside, the winter air hit my face, sharp and cleansing. I didn't look back. There would be calls, texts, confrontations, but I had made my choice. My heart ached, raw and open, but I was still standing. And sometimes survival meant leaving behind the people who once meant everything. If you've ever felt betrayal cut deep, share your story below. And don't forget to subscribe. You're not alone, and the truth matters more than anyone pretending otherwise.